we are in for a treat with our next speaker. Jason is joining us from Mintel, which took me right back to many, many years ago when I was at university, and we all used to have to go to the library to get Mintel reports to finish our assignments. So I remember them from way, way back. Jason joined them in 1996 to be one of the first companies to actually publish research digitally online. And now he's been leading their digital transformation in their IT group, and he's going to come and share with us what they have been doing with Alfresco and the journey that they've taken. So please come and join us and share with us, Jason. Thank you.
Don't believe me, just watch.
All right, great, thanks. So I'm CIO at Mintel Group, and I wanted to do something a little bit different today. This that you're looking at the moment is actually our clients' deliverables website. So it's where we publish our data to our clients. This content was all created in our Alfresco CMS, and then it's delivered through this web-based platform. So I just want to show you through some of the capabilities and take you through our journey with Alfresco. So this was a video we put out earlier this year, and we're all experiencing disruption, and change happens ever quicker. So this video was a nod to that, but it was also about explaining to our clients that we were doing more and more for them, and that we're changing, and that we were there to help them. So I really just want to spend a few slides putting Mintel into context for you. So what is Mintel? Well, we know the consumer, and we help our clients understand consumers and consumer markets with our unique market intelligence mix. So what is the market intelligence mix? Well, it starts with data. We have lots of data from consumer surveys to consumer behavioral data, but it's also market analysis, market data, competitor intelligence, and product intelligence. But most importantly, it's expertise to bring these elements together and put them together in an expert synthesis that provides insight and recommendations rooted in cast iron fact. So really, this is what we are. We are experts in what consumers want and why. This is our purpose. This is our stated purpose, and this pervades our culture at Mintel. We obsess about how we can help our clients' businesses grow, but also we care about individuals, and that's individuals that our clients and our employees. We love creating opportunities for people, and the way we do this, the way we help our businesses grow, help our clients' businesses grow, is to help them understand consumers and consumer markets. So how do we do that? Well, consumer spending underpins 70% of world GDP. And we are experts in what consumers want and why. Our clients are companies that sell to consumers, or they're companies that sell to those companies. Either way, they need to understand consumers, consumer behavior, and consumer markets. And so that's what we help them do. We help them understand those things so that they can make decisions to help their businesses grow. But really, what does that mean? So, well, it starts with data, and we bring in all sorts of data from consumer opinions, surveys, consumer behavioral data, that's from digital sources like clickstream data or location data. We collect data about marketing campaigns across a number of different channels. We collect data about what products are launched on supermarket shelves. Anything related to consumers and consumer markets, that this data can give us an idea, an insight into those consumer markets. But then we combine that with technology and tools, and we process and analyze this data and transform it and join the dots in this data. But most importantly, our experts make sense of this and tell stories for our clients and create insight and recommendations. So it starts with data. We provide great technology, but it's really the experts that make the difference. They're what makes it make sense for our clients. So you're going to be asking, how does this relate to Alfresco? Well, I'll come on to it in a minute. Really, we create a lot of content. So our experts provide insight and recommendations, but the most visible manifestation of that is content. And we create a huge amount of content from the Mintel reports that some of you may be familiar with, that we've been doing for over 40 years. In 1996, we started putting them online. First of all with Lotus Notes, then on the internet. And then now the way we deliver things is completely different. In 2013, after we'd had 10 or 15 years of acquiring technical debt and legacy, we actually decided we needed to do something more strategic, and we started our digital transformation journey with Alfresco in 2013. And this is a metaphor for what content creation looked like at Mintel in 2013. We had around 10 legacy content management systems. Most of them were web-based by that time, but they hadn't always been. In order to create a Mintel report, and I'll talk a bit more about what that is in a sec, we had tens of people emailing documents around between themselves. They were filling in spreadsheets to try and keep track of it all. Documents would go missing. We'd miss steps of our process. If you wanted to find a document that had been created before, it was often impossible. And so we were in a bit of a mess, really. So there was a board proposal. You don't need to read this. This was what actually, these are the verbatim words that went into the board proposal. Really what it's about is about taking control of how we were creating our content. It was about bringing much better structure and process and much better organization and control to our content management processes. It was about being more efficient. It was about writing content once and reusing it. Overall, this was all about helping us move faster and do it more cost effectively. So, back to reports. Reports are actually historically have ended up as 100 to 200 page documents. And they're created by tens of people collaborating, moving those documents around through a process. And it's a classic example of what you can do with Alfresco. It's a textbook document management, content management challenge. And so mostly the deliverable is now all online. We no longer print reports, although I suspect some of our clients will download a PDF and still print a 200-page report. But we've transformed the way we do this. Now, what Alfresco helped us do was to get control over it after we'd gone through this process. So, 2013 we started. We actually worked with a partner called Ixus, and they spent about 6 months putting together a proof of concept with just a couple of developers. But we soon realized that the scope of our ambition and the things that we wanted to do meant we needed a bigger team for a longer period of time. So we brought the project in-house towards the end of the summer 2014, so about 5 years ago. It was still a small team of about 4 developers, but we started 5 years ago this week. And really they went back to our key stakeholders, and they started with mapping all of our business processes. 9 months later, we'd rolled this out across pretty much all of our report writing teams. So that comprised hundreds of analysts and researchers that are involved in creating reports. And the reason why we could do it so quickly with such a small team was because of all of the capabilities that you get out of the box with Alfresco. And I'm going to take you through a bit more make this a bit more concrete and show you a bit more about what we've done with this. So, numbers on the workflows. If any of you use Activity or Alfresco process services now, you might be familiar with some of these terms. And this was really just to show you the scope and complexity of what we went after. And this was just in the first 9 months. So, as I said, we started out mapping out all of the logic behind all of our business processes. We'd never done this before. This was quite a powerful exercise in and of itself. We worked through this with a small set of stakeholders, and we built up the minimal set of tools we needed to make this work for us for this particular content creation set of processes. As I say, it was done so quickly because we built everything on top of the out-of-the-box capabilities that Alfresco provides. So the UI was built on top of Alfresco Share. It utilized the embedded workflow engine, permissions, search, and a variety of other out-of-the-box components. And this is one of the key things. We provided a streamlined and simplified UI. We cut down what you could do with Alfresco Share so that it was really easy for people to do it because they only really basically had to keep clicking the next button. So we put all this together and made it as simple as possible to use. It wasn't just about throwing out, deploying Alfresco Share. You could have done that, but then it would have been difficult to make it intuitive and idiot-proof. So I'm just going to show you through some of the things we put together. This is the reports dashlet. This gives you a picture of the status of the report writing process and where everything was in the workflow. We'd never had this before. Everything was tracked in spreadsheets and emails and through conversations. The task dashlet, we built this on top of Alfresco's out-of-the-box task dashlet, and that was relatively simple. This is an example of one of the workflows, and just really it's just there to give you an example of some of the complexity and the power on what we can do. This is one of our most complex workflows, and this included parallel tasks. This was how we create our consumer research. So this involves fielding research, getting the results back, sending it on to analysts and researchers, translating results, all sorts of things like that. And really, it's just to give you an idea of how, we did all this basically in about 9 months using Alfresco and Activity, or Alfresco Process Services as it is now. 2015, after bringing over 200 people onto the content management system, remember this is still in this reports workflow, so it's all about managing documents and moving them through the system. We added collaboration facilities. And the bulk of all of our people creating reports and involved in these research processes are using the CMS every day. And so we wanted to provide a place where they could share ideas and discuss and collaborate. So this is built primarily on top of the Alfresco discussion capabilities that you get, I think, mostly out of the box. We made it look like Mintel. These are the topic category pages. This is specific topics and questions and provocations. Here's an in-depth, here is a specific question and answer. But this is all kind of coming out of the box, or mostly out of the box. In 2016, we moved on to start our web-first content creation strategy, taking advantages of a lot of the capabilities that Alfresco provides, but we built our own content editing, web-first content editing UI on top of it with a library we made. This is the timeline for what we did. We're still doing this now because this has been part of our process to migrate all of our legacy content creation processes and legacy CMS systems over to this new modern way of doing it. Through this timeline, we've made multiple improvements to our Alfresco CMS and our delivery system. And as we've made improvements, because everything is now on one platform, any improvement we make benefits all of our content, all of our analysts, all of our researchers. One of the things that was particularly interesting for the first time last year, we actually delivered a new product just by putting a new set of content through the Alfresco CMS. Now, maybe that should have been easier for everyone, but I'm sure, as some of you know, sometimes it's not as easy as it looks. This time it was. I'm going to show you through the content editor. These are content hubs. This is where we start writing our content, and we use this internally. I wrote this presentation using one of these content hubs. We use it ourselves for all of our internal presentations. This is actually the editor. On the left, you can see the metadata. On the right, you can see the web-first text editor. All of that text, you just click on it and edit it, and it constrains you and guides you through how long the titles can be. We provide quite a constrained experience for our analysts. The idea behind that, you can see here, there are the templates for all the different blocks. The idea behind that is you constrain them and you give them guidance, and then they don't have to think about layout or format or anything. They just can think about the content. Here is where you can pull in slides from other presentations. Most of this presentation was from one of my colleagues' slides. Here's collaboration tools built around, built into the workflows and built around this content editing piece. Today, we have 617 active users, which is more than half the company, all using the Alfresco CMS. Most use it on a daily basis. We are 80% of the way through our transformation of our 10 legacy CMS systems. We've now got about 2 left to go. Benefits we've already realized. Well, right for the web first. Actually, that's a big thing because it brings many benefits. It makes the content short and succinct. It makes it easier for our analysts to write the content because they've got this templates they can use. The content looks good on any device. It works well on mobile, works well on PowerPoint downloads, it works well in this presentation mode, it works well on screen. It gives us brand consistency. We deliver new products through configuration. We use this for delivering all of our custom content to our clients as well, not just our published content. And it gives us metrics on who's using what. We've streamlined and formalized complex workflow processes. And some of the benefits from that are that we get better predictability, repeatability, we get better monitoring, and new starters just follow the process that the system leads them through. Quality assurance steps are built in, content is all discoverable in one place, content reuse is increasing, and for my team, we've only got one CMS platform to maintain, not 10, so we're gradually starting to go faster. So things we're doing next, we have, these are the future business capabilities. This is the next 3 to 6 months. Really, this is about improving some of our current capabilities. We're adding translation, integrating it with SDL Trados for multiple languages. We're doing richer content editing, collaboration, and versioning so that we can be more efficient. By the end of next year, all of our we will have stopped managing documents and pushing them through the system. Everything will be web first, and we're going to start getting better reuse of components and reusing content that we create. And then with a nod to the AI stuff, we will be doing automatic topic modeling according to our Mintel ontologies. Technology, so I'm a techie, I love the technology. Actually, this isn't really our long-term roadmap, this is just the short-term stuff that we're doing. And really this is all about putting Kubernetes into the cloud. Putting Alfresco onto Kubernetes in Google Cloud. So we're just upgrading to Alfresco 6. We're going to be doing our migration to Kubernetes, and actually I'll probably be talking with some of the Alfresco tech team here. We have overall at Mintel 120 people on our tech team with a DevOps team, and we're standardizing on Google Cloud for what we do. We've built a Google Cloud Storage connector that was simple to integrate with the Alfresco APIs, and this will give us better scalability, resilience, and performance, we think. So that's about it. I will be hanging around at lunch if anyone wanted to come and ask me questions about what we've done or how we do it. I'd be happy to answer them. And I'll hand back over to Jennifer.
Great story. Thank you so much. I have one quick question for you. Before you run off, one quick question. What kind of feedback do you get internally on this?
So some people have been creating PowerPoint presentations for 20 years, or 15, 20 years. And so they struggle to get used to it, right? Because it's quite a lot of change writing for the web first. But eventually they get it. And now many people just wouldn't go back because it just helps them do things more efficiently and quickly.
Great. So. That's great. It's a great testament. Thank you, Simon. We appreciate it.